wanted to choose an initiative where we could really make a difference. You know, I'm probably like many of you, I can't stand the committees that get together and produce a report that sits on a shelf somewhere. And I really felt when it came to the issue of providing more employment opportunities for people with disabilities, we had a real chance to move the needle. And I actually think the timing is really good. About 2 months ago, I was invited by Senator Tom Harkin, who's been a champion for people with disabilities throughout his career in the Senate. Yes, he deserves that. He invited me to a meeting up near Hartford, Connecticut at a Walgreens facility with a number of CEOs, the CEO of Walgreens, the CEO of OfficeMax, the CEO of UPS. And they were there for one reason, which is to talk to their colleagues, other CEOs, about how important it is to provide people with disabilities employment opportunities. And by the way, from their perspective, this is not about charity. This is about what's doing right by their shareholders. And that's an incredibly important and powerful message. And as you can imagine, Walgreens, they have distribution centers all throughout the country. And they very carefully track the performance of these distribution centers. And this particular one in Hartford, Connecticut, they have about 500 employees. Half of the people who work there have some form of disability. And what they have found is that that distribution center performs just as well, if not better, than other distribution centers across the country. And so what this is all about for me is an opportunity to make sure that CEOs across the country hear that message, and to make sure that my colleagues, other governors across the country, have the tools that they need, the policy and other tools, the knowledge that they can reach out to CEOs in their own states to make sure their CEOs understand that from the perspective of other CEOs of really important companies like Walgreens and OfficeMax and UPS, that giving people with disabilities in their states an opportunity to work is not only the right thing to do for society, it's the right thing to do for their shareholders. So that's really what this is all about. And I'm excited. We're going to be have a couple of sessions with other governors around the country where we get to bring in some of the experts, where we get to show off some of the best practices. And so this is very much about the private sector, but it's also about those of us in government walking the walk as well, and to make sure that governors across the country understand that there are so many people across this country who have the time, they have the talent, they have the ability, they've got the willingness to be put to work, and that we as governors have a role to play to give them this kind of opportunity. And so that's what it's all about. And when I heard, thank you. And one thing that makes me really, really proud is that when President Obama heard about my initiative, he called me at home. And he told me that he knew about my initiative. He told me how important it was. He said, I'm going to make sure that you get connected with the folks within the White House who focus on disability issues, and he's done that. And so I think to have a president, right there in the Oval Office, who has identified this as an important issue, one he wants to work with governors on, one he wants to work with members of Congress on, and one he wants to work with the business community throughout the country on, I think is really, really exciting. So yes. So I know you've got a lot of very important business to do here today, but when I heard that you all were meeting, I was just so thrilled to have the opportunity to come by and to share with you our initiative. My term as NGA Chair, National Governors Association Chair, only lasts for 1 year. And so this is one of those things, when you've got a finite amount of time, you've got to make it count, because I think the odds of this being an initiative at that level again, it's not going to happen for a very, very long time. So we've got a lot of work to do. We look forward to working with all of you, and thank you so much for letting me stop by today.